Hi, I'm Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my May monthly musings. So May went by in an absolute blur. I knew it was going to because of our son's graduation. I can't even express how proud I am of him, who graduated with highest honors from his high school, member of National Honor Society, and so on, earned 2 scholarships. We are just so incredibly proud of all his accomplishments. So it's going to be about 2.5 months and he'll be going off to college, and that'll be a whole new transition for us. It's a happy and sad thing all mixed up at once, and I just wanted my practice to be simple because of that. So the beginning of May, I started out the first week using the Pastoral Tarot, and it was okay for me. I have absolutely nothing, there's nothing wrong with this. I think this deck is great. I just wasn't in the right headspace for it. So that was what my problem was with it, because when I used this deck to do some member and client readings, I had absolutely no problem. It was just for myself. I just wasn't in the right headspace to use it for myself. It's beautiful. I will definitely be working with this again. I love how the images spark my intuition, psychic ability, to bring messages forward because of, the vividness of the images. So this was week 1 that I used that. So week 2, I decided to switch. I switched to, let me drop in everything, this oracle deck, Divine Nature. And this is an oracle by Angie Sullins, artwork by Greg Spolenka. And Angie Sullins, the only other Angie Sullins deck I have is the Wild Woman Oracle, which I really enjoyed that one. So when I saw, let me see if I can find it. This image right here. This image kept coming up in my Facebook feed. I think is an advertisement for this deck or whatever. And I would, scroll past it, but as it came up more and more and more, I was just like, oh, this is so beautiful. And I went ahead and I broke down and I ordered it. And I have to say, I love this deck. I love it. This isn't all the cards. I have some of the cards separated out for something else, but it's just beautiful, and it's been a joy to work with. But so week 2, I only pulled 1 card. Like I said, simplify. So I pulled 1 card and went off of that message, and boy, did it ring true. Just 1 single card. Sometimes I'm like astonished by those that don't use Oracle. I get it. Everybody's practice is different. I'm not throwing any shade at anybody or anything like that. It just amazes me, the ones that don't use Oracle, because Oracle is such a foundation of my practice. I can sit and read with nothing but Oracle and no tarot whatsoever. I love Oracle because each deck is a different system or its own entity, its own thing. You run the gambit of a small deck of Oracle cards to a larger deck of Oracle cards, and all kinds of themes for them. And so that's rambling a little bit, but Oracle is a major part of my foundation. So I had no problem going to just reading the Oracle for my weekly messages. So then the following week, I switched to the Sufi Wisdom Oracle. Now, this isn't like me to switch decks every single week, and that I was feeling out of sorts and having a hard time connecting. So that's usually when I switch up and use a lot of different decks. So the 3rd week, I did the Sufi wisdom. I really like this deck. I think it has beautiful messages to it. I did only work with it 2 weeks, but I can't wait to use it again. I think the images are also beautiful in this deck. So anyway, this was the one that I used the 3rd week. The 4th week, the last full week of May, I combined this deck with my Compendium of Witches deck. So what I did for the last full week of May was I pulled a Sufi card, Sufi wisdom card for energy that was moving in. And this Gifts of Freedom was the perfect card for that week of the month because this was the week of my son's commencement ceremony. So it was all about letting go, freeing yourself from, limiting thoughts and things like that. Break away from your attachments, which he will be breaking away from us very soon. So what I did then was I got out the Compendium of Witches and I pulled a card from the Voice, I believe it's called, section. That's all the witches that are in here. And I got the Unbound to tell me how to work with this gift of freedom. And it's basically the same thing. The Unbound is about freedom, thinking beyond your limits, and not defining or putting definitions to everything, and kind of just, letting things flow. So then I went to the Whispers and I asked, well, what do I need to release in order to get into this flow and this state of freedom? And I got the pruning of, remove what's unproductive for me right now. And that was just a perfect message for that week. So I really liked pairing these two, which it looks almost like 3 decks, but it's 2. I really enjoyed pairing these 2 decks together, and I can see me doing this again in the future. So while I have the Compendium of Witches out, this is the deck that I used for my moon practices. Again, stripping it down to the basics. So, all I did for the moons, well, I'll just give you an example with the full moon, was I asked what the primary energy that was going to be available to me to work with or making an impact in my life during this next full moon cycle, and the shapeshifter came up. So, that's about adapting, and you don't have to feel stuck because there's other choices out there for you. And then I asked how it would present itself, and that showed itself in the wreath, and then how to work with it, and how to navigate this energy showed up with the pomegranate card. And I loved that, and it was just enough of a message for me to give me something to work with, which the full moon cycle is going to be coming by the day I'm filming this. It's going to be coming up, I think, in just a couple days. It'll be past by the time you see it. So I like that, and I think through maybe the summer, or at least through the month of June, I'm going to continue this, just keeping it simplified, and pulling a few cards from one deck. I'm not going to go into the tarot. I'm going to keep it Oracle right now, and continue using the Compendium of Witches. Let me think if there's anything else, any other decks. I don't think so. Even my June, I just set up, because the day I'm filming this, it's only June 1st. So I literally just set up my June journal yesterday, And even that I cut down. I cut down on some of the things I had in here. And yeah, simplify. I'm just simplifying for right now. It's only because that's what I feel I need. And when I'm ready to go more full blown into something else, I'll add whatever I need to, you know, back in. I do not know, or I haven't made a full decision yet of the decks that I'm going to use in the month of June, because like I said, I'm just going to keep it on the simple side. Okay, what else can I share with you? I don't remember exactly when I got this in, but I got this little tarot in. I ordered it right away after I saw it on Robin's Reflections channel, and it's the Broke Bee Tarot Training Deck, and it's off of Etsy. Can I read the names on here? Kat DeRing and, oh my gosh, something Masterson. Taryn, I think. Masterson. I don't know. It's dark and the little writing. But I've had fun playing around with this. And it's become my new sit out on the coffee table deck. I had another one that sits out there. I've gotten to the point that I have decks in multiple places in my house. So whenever I feel like pulling a card, or I'm in the mindset to pull a card, I've got a deck right there. And this is the one that sits out now for me, that I'll just maybe shuffle in the evenings, or if I have a quick question and I just want to pull a quick card that I don't journal about or anything. I pull this deck, and it's been a lot of fun, and I think I said you could find it on Etsy. It was very inexpensive, and I think it's really cute. It's minimalistic. It has but man, these words are tiny. So, you know, what is that? You play trombone to see the words or whatever with your arm. But yeah, this is really fun. So this is a deck that I got in. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, I started finally reading the Book of Seances. This has already been all over YouTube, so I'm sure you've heard about it. I did pre-order her Book of Ancestors deck, or not deck, book, that will be coming out, I think October or September. I don't know, one of the two. So this one, I don't know if I've ever said, I'm sure I have. You know, you kind of forget what you've said, but I do mediumship. Self-taught in it. I didn't take any courses in it. You know, when the spirit starts showing up and start showing you and talking to you, and you just kind of learn to adapt to it and go. So, and that's that. But anyway, so I picked up this book just because I wanted to see, you know, what another's take on the whole thing was. And her aspect of this is basically using different divination systems to actually have, you know, conversations with spirit. So I think that's interesting. I don't mind it. So, you know, I think we're all students forever. There's always something. I try to tell my son, it doesn't matter how old you get in life, there's always something new that can be learned. So, I mean, even though I do some mediumship readings, I don't mind reading about how others you know, go about doing it. Automatic writing is actually how I started out, so I find that fascinating. But anyway, so yeah, if that's something that interests you, that's what this book is basically about. Like I said, I'm only about a quarter of the way through. She does have a part in, I don't know, maybe I passed it. Oh. So she does have a part in here where she talks about using tarot to communicate with spirit. And so what she does is she gives you the traditional meaning, and then she gives you what the spirit message is. The chariot typically signifies a car wreck or other automotive disasters, cutting short a light in a traumatic way could cause confusion, blah, blah, blah. So if you have no experience, talking to spirits or understanding the symbolism that they try to convey to you themselves, then I think this is like a good starting tool with that, where, you could look at the cards in a different way. But she has all the divination systems in here too. So while we're on the subject of spirit communication, for clients, I don't use cards because I don't want anything to muddle up the images or the scenarios that I am trying to pull through and see. And sometimes when I use cards for that, it overcomplicates it. So I just tell the clients the pictures that the spirits are showing me. I was playing around with my Conjure Cards, which I think I've shown this on here before. I don't know. But it's a whole system in itself. And because of that, and I felt lazy and I didn't want to, have to try to remember what this system or whatever was, I just got some Sharpie and I wrote on here a few of the key words from the guidebook. And the reason I was playing around with this so much in the month of May is because we've had a lot of spirit activity in our house, and which I find odd because I haven't done a client reading. I haven't done an in-person client reading in a while. So sometimes residual stuff hangs around, but and I was just using them to, have a back and forth. So if you do spirit communication and you're looking for, another deck to maybe add to your collection that you may use, then I enjoyed using this deck for that. I had no confusion over, what was being said to me and then who was coming forward. And yeah, so if you're looking for another spirit communication type deck, I recommend the Conjure Cards because I enjoyed using them for that. Let's see, Ancestor Grimoire, who did we have for the month of May? I didn't make my card yet. Oh, this was our moon ancestor. I did work with her during the moon cycle. But I didn't do much else than that because, like I said, I said 1,000 times, I was busy. So I do have to make that ancestor card up. But I think that finishes, I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to say about the month of May. I think that was it. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I appreciate you being here. I really appreciate my subscribers that stick with me and like the video and leave little comments. I really like interacting with you. That makes my heart happy. So again, thanks for stopping by today. I really appreciate you being here. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate every bit of love. And until I see you next time, bye.